Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany and this is Growing Up Shaman. Today's story is going to be about how Spirit breadcrumbed me to a place where I was needed. This story occurred about 10 years ago. My boyfriend and I were planning on going on a weekend trip to the beach in Texas. One of the most popular beaches is Galveston. And anyways, we went there with my daughter, and I'm usually the person in the relationship who does all the planning for any kind of trip that we go on. And I remember going through my phone, looking through hotels to check out, and I remember it was like one of like the second hotel that I came across. I got this huge feeling like, okay, this is where we're going. Like there was no doubt about it in my mind. I knew it so well that I didn't even bother to make a reservation. I didn't even do anything about it. I actually turned off my phone and was like, "Oh, that's where we're going. Nothing else I need to do about it." And so I remember telling my boyfriend, "You know what? I'm going to let you plan this trip this time. I'm always the one who does all the research and reservations, and this time I want you to do it." So he said he was going to do it, but when the weekend came and it was time for us to go on our trip, he had not done any research or had made any reservations, and he decided that we were just going to go to Galveston and go down that main road, which is called Seawall Drive, and we were just going to find a hotel there because that's where all the hotels were. So we drive the 2 or 3 hours it takes to get there, and we're driving down Seawall Drive, and there is not one hotel vacancy available. And we go up and down this road, and we come to the conclusion that nope, that wasn't a good idea, not making reservations. So I decide I'm going to take over, and I'm like, let's just see if we can find something that's more inland. Um, and so I started directing him to areas that, quite honestly, looked like we were going in the wrong direction. Everywhere we were going, it seemed to be there were no lights. It seemed like we were just driving into residential dark areas, and it just didn't seem right. But to me, it felt completely and totally right. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, we popped up in front of this Best Western, and it was the same Best Western that I had seen on my phone the week before. And so I told him, let's stop here, go see if there's any vacancies. He went in, and turns out they did have vacancies. And so we were able to get a room. And turns out our room was like on the second floor, and our room had a balcony. And I remember going out into this balcony and looking out to see what kind of view we had, hoping it would be like an ocean view. Not that really it would be because we were inland, but you know, I just wanted to see what it was like. And I noticed that the lot of land that was outside of my balcony was just completely bare. There was buildings all around it, but the lot that was right next to the hotel was completely undeveloped. I couldn't see anything on there. It was just complete darkness. And so I just went to bed, and in the middle of the night I had this dream. And in my dream, I was back on that balcony, and all of a sudden this white owl just came out of that lot of land that was across from my balcony, and it just came and it landed right on my arm. And I remember thinking to myself, oh wow, this is weird, it's not even scraping my arm or hurting me or anything, it's just like on me. And I remember just being in awe of it. And then I was like, Madison, I was talking to my daughter, I was like, look at this owl. And then the owl jumped from me, and it went in through the balcony doors, and it landed on the bed that she was sitting on the floor in front of. Like she was sitting down unpacking her bags or something, and it just landed on the bed. And she was like, oh neat, like she went to go touch it, and I remember going, no, don't, like it's dangerous. And but this owl, it let her touch her. And anyways, I don't remember much else after the dream. But the next day, um, when it was time to leave the hotel, I remember going outside, and I wanted to go check out this lot of land because in shamanism, owls, to me specifically, are messengers of the dead, and I was very curious to see what was in that lot of land, because an owl had come to me. Come to find out, that lot of land was not undeveloped. It was actually a cemetery. It was called Rosewood Cemetery, and in the front of the cemetery there was like a plaque where it talked about who was buried there and whatnot. And it turns out that this lot of land had been purchased in like 1911 or something. And back in those days, they had segregated cemeteries. And this cemetery was specific for people of color, and because they weren't allowed to be buried in other cemeteries. So the cemetery just, it was so dilapidated, and my heart just went out to the souls that had been buried there. And I felt the need to get out my shamanic drum and walk around the whole cemetery drumming. Um, I don't know what it is in me that made me do this, but I felt the need to do it. And what's odd is that I even brought my shamanic drum in the first place, because this is something that I made like many years ago, and it's not something that I just take anywhere. It's not something I take for entertainment purposes. This is a ceremonial shamanic drum. And anyway, so I went around the whole cemetery, beating the drum. And then when I felt like I had gotten the attention of anyone that was still there on the property, I stood in the center of the cemetery, and I basically kind of created a portal for the souls that were any lingering souls that were still hanging out there and didn't want to be there, that they could ascend. And as I'm doing this, in my mind's eye, I could see this huge wall of light just open up right next to me. And to me, it felt like an angelic source that had just came and stood next to me to help open this portal. And I just, stood there for a few minutes and let this process take place. And then I felt like my job was done, and I left. And anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was just on my heart to share that story. So, if you have had any experiences like this where you feel like spirit has breadcrumbed you to a specific place for a specific reason that you may not know the reason for until you actually get there, I would love to hear about it. So please leave a comment, like, and share. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Thank you so much. Bye. See you in the next video.